Welcome to the online edition of Nightwatch for January 2024. My name is Bill, coming to you from the Sudekum Planetarium here at Adventure Science Center in Nashville. And as always, we'll start off with the moon phases for this month. We'll find the moon will be at last quarter on January 3rd, new moon on the 11th, first quarter moon on the 17th, followed by the full moon for January on the 25th. Looking at planets in our evening sky, both Jupiter and Saturn continue to reside in our evening sky. Saturn is low in the western sky and sets at around 7:45 p.m. during mid-January. Look at Saturn through a backyard telescope and you'll see its beautiful rings and possibly some of its satellites. The moon will be passing below the planet Saturn on January 13th and will be above the planet Saturn on the 14th. Jupiter is higher in the western sky after sunset and sets in the west around 12:30 in the morning during mid-January. Pointing that backyard telescope at Jupiter will show its beautiful cloud belts and at least 4 of its satellites. And the moon will be passing by the planet Jupiter on the 18th. In the morning sky, low in the southeast, we can still see the planet Venus this month. The very thin crescent moon will be passing to the right of the planet Venus on the morning of January 8th, just before sunrise. Also in early January, until around the 13th, you might be able to see the elusive planet Mercury, the closest planet to the Sun. It will be visible just before sunrise to the lower left of the planet Venus near the horizon. The very thin crescent moon will be passing to the right of Mercury just before sunrise on January 9th at about 6 a.m. low in the southeast. Looking at constellations in our evening sky at around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And so we can orient ourselves on the chart that we're seeing here. We are currently facing south with the Z at the top marking the overhead position or the zenith. Rising in the eastern sky and up for the rest of the evening is a group of winter constellations with some very bright stars. High in the east is the constellation Taurus, to the left of where Jupiter is, marked by the beautiful Pleiades star cluster, also known as the Seven Sisters. Look at this small group of stars with a pair of binoculars or a telescope to see dozens and possibly hundreds of stars in this one little spot in the sky. Below Taurus and rising up in the southeast is the very famous Orion the Hunter, marked by those 7 very bright stars that mark his shoulders, his legs, and his famous belt. Look below his belt for the fainter stars of his sword, and that fuzzy patch of light you will notice in the sky in his sword is the beautiful star cloud called the Orion Nebula. Nebula simply means cloud in astronomy, and this is a star cloud, and it is enormous. It is the home to many stars being born as well as entire solar systems. Look with a pair of binoculars or a telescope to see this beautiful star cloud even better. To the upper left of Orion is the constellation Gemini, the twins, marked by the stars Castor and Pollux, the twin stars that mark their heads. To the left of Orion is Canis Minor, his little dog, marked by the bright star Procyon. And even more famous, to the lower left of Orion, taking those 3 stars in a row in his belt and following them downward, you will find Canis Major, his big dog, marked by the bright star Sirius, which is also the brightest star in the night sky. Looking higher in the sky, nearly overhead above Orion's head, we find the constellation Auriga, the charioteer, with the goats sitting in his lap. Notice the bright star Capella, also called the mother goat star, getting up high in our wintertime sky. Now don't forget, if you can't remember everything I've mentioned in this online edition of Nightwatch, you can check out our star chart online by visiting adventuresci.org/starcharts, and you can download a copy of our monthly star chart as well as some other information about what's happening in the sky during that current month. Also, don't forget to visit us here at the Sudekum Planetarium at Adventure Science Center to see our regular planetarium version of Nightwatch, as well as our other planetarium shows and other events happening here at the Science Center. Visit the website adventuresci.org to find out more about all the offerings here at Adventure Science Center and the planetarium. Once again, my name is Bill, coming to you from the Sudekum Planetarium here at Adventure Science Center. We hope you can join us here at the Science Center and the planetarium to enjoy our many offerings. And until next month, I wish you clear skies.